Hello everyone, Little Sodor Studios here. I know it's been a while, and actually I'm back not with one of my own customs, but a custom for a project I'm a part of, Adventures on the Rails. The team leader reached out to me probably a year ago now, if not longer, for this project. He wanted Mickey for the series, and we went out, or I guess he went out, bought the most recent wooden railway version of Edward. And over a couple months, I've been kind of working on it here and there, a day here and there. So really, this is probably a project almost a year in the making, if not more. Just with my busy work schedule and stuff, I didn't have a lot of time to work on it. But with all that background information out of the way, let's just talk about this model. This model was a little different for me to work on in the sense of this is the first time I used the new version or the new design engines from what is it, Mattel? I don't know why I'm blanking out on who makes these toys, but so this is the newer wheel design, the bigger overall bigger engine proportions of design with more accurate wheel configurations, and of course Mickey, as many people know from Victor Tanzen's series, is a furnace railway K2 just like Edward. So obviously we used Edward as a base, removed the face, did a lot of painting, and that's basically it. I found a kind of, I think it's called sweet potato actually, red orange color to use for Mickey. He's kind of got that burnt orange, honestly almost rust color, red or orange to him. So I took me a little bit of time to figure out the exact color I wanted, but from Apple Barrel, I got the sweet potato color, and that's what I used for the wheels and for the rest of the locomotive, boiler, tender, all that. I did the lining in dark gray, actually. I went through a couple different grays. I thought black maybe, then I settled on the light gray, which you see for his handrail. And then I was like, you know what, let's just go dark gray. I think dark gray is a nice middle ground. Keep it simple. I didn't want to use a yellow. Again, I think a gray or a black, maybe even a brown would have been the most accurate after doing some research. So I settled on a dark gray. And as you can see, I basically did my best here to paint over the red stripes with the gray. Anything that was a red stripe, red lining, I just redid it in gray. Other than the cab, I think the cab might have been yellow here, but again, any detailing in the gray was just painted over the original color. The sweet potato color on the first two passes with the paintbrush actually doesn't cover up a lot of the original model. So what I ended up doing is doing one or two coats, painting the gray stripes on for not only the lining but also the handrail. And then I went ahead and kind of painted more and more to get the orange color to be more prominent over the blue. And then once that was done, I went in and touched up all the lining the best I could with my little paint brushes. I still have old paint brushes. I got to get new ones, so this lining isn't the best. But when you're tracing over existing factory-made lines, it's a little easier. And then I used black for the running board, obviously. We got the FR logo here for Furnace Railway, or Fire and Rescue, as that's kind of, I think Victor Tanzen even makes as a joke in his series, how they just used the same lettering because it worked, right? You know, Furnace Railway, Fire and Rescue, it's perfect. His wheels are the same color as his body. I didn't go ahead and try to get like the spokes and all the wheel detail in there, even though these are a bigger surface, you know, for painting on and all that, where the older style had more of a 3D texture to bring out that detailing. I honestly went lazy and simple and just painted it all red. I think it's fine, or orange, again, whatever color we want. Whatever, you know, simple color we want to call this, but I think it was fine. It was okay. Again, it being this kind of, again, sweet potato color from Apple Barrel, it just took a lot of coats to do. This model is also one of the newer ones featuring where I go ahead and I paint it with a matte clear coat protective spray, hopefully to make the paint last a little longer, whether we use the character gets used in accidents, or just actively running it along the wooden rails. I found my older models, the paint on the wheels, if I had to paint the wheels, gets worn off. So I'm hoping between a couple thicker layers of paint on the wheels on top of this protective coat will make it hold up a little longer, if not forever. Probably just a little longer. End of the day, it'll probably need some touch-ups. And the face was a hard one. First off, that's probably the hardest part with this model, was getting the original Edward face off. They're designed a little different than the older wooden railway models, so that took me quite a bit of time to get it sawn off and cut off without damaging the smoke box. That took a little bit of time, but once that was off, I sanded it down. I actually painted the back side, or the front edge of the smoke box, black, just in case, based on the face we found. Originally, we weren't sure about a face, not only for the size reason, as actually Edward, as you can see here, since he's using a Duke face, the new Edward model has more of a boiler size comparative to the older wooden railway model narrow gauge engines. We went back and forth. We were going, I think, between originally Sir Handel and Scarloey, and I ended up ordering a couple Dukes in for a project. So I had the spare Duke face. I did have to touch up the eyebrows. But with the spare Duke face, I thought, as far as facial features go, Duke resembles Mickey a fair bit. Both kind of have an older, grittier look. Granted, Mickey doesn't really smile a lot, at least in Victor Tanzen's series, so the smile's not accurate, but I think the rest of the face is a good compromise. But overall, that's basically it. There's not much to talk about else, just the colors I used, the process. It's just a lot of layers for this kind of lighter and thinner color to cover up the base model. But I think it looks fine. It looks good. I didn't go all out in it, I'll admit, but I also didn't. I tried not to skimp on it, especially since these newer models have a lot of lining and detail in them. It was a lot easier to trace over and replicate or reproduce that detail. But I hope you like this video. There's really nothing more to say. Again, I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm going to be doing any more customs with the newer models, at least that required me to remove a face and go crazy. This was a very interesting project, as our project leader will tell you. This model has probably been a long time in the making, just for various reasons, hold-ups in life, as well as just trying to get this model the exact way I wanted it to look and the project leader wanted it to look. But again, I want to thank you all for watching, and hope you have a good day. Bye.